Hello, everybody, and welcome to the lesson. This is the C1 Advanced English podcast. And in today's lesson, we will hear Olivia from the United States, and she will talk about what is a sign of the times. So the phrase, a sign of the times, refers to something that shows a person is from a certain era. So, for example, a haircut, a funny haircut, could be a sign of the times. Or the clothes that people wear could be a sign of the times. So now we live in the smartphone era. So having a smartphone is definitely a sign of the times. So we are going to hear Olivia answer this question. Now, she actually lives in London. So she is in London when she recorded this video. And that might help you a little bit when we do the quiz at the end. So we will do this lesson in 3 parts. First, we will watch the video, and then we will take a quick quiz and review some of the vocabulary. Then we will listen to the video again, and then finally, we will have the teacher's take at the end of the podcast. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and listen to Olivia share what she thinks is a sign of the times.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and right now I live in London. And my question is, what is something that is a sign of the times? For me, it's the video and the whole trend Tube Girl. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but basically it's this girl who's recording herself on the tube dancing and singing, and there's a bunch of wind blowing in her face. And the dance is like quite brave. It's not something I would want to do in public, and everybody in the background's watching her, and of course it went viral because of how shocking it was. And then because of that, she got lots of work, and now there's all these videos you see of her in public having her phone at all these different angles, and it looks really, really, really cool on the video camera, but it looks really stupid when you watch it live in public. And you see her doing this around a bunch of stars at really important events, at fashion shows, and seeing how stupid she looked in real life, but how cool the videos looked on her phone made me think of, wow, it really shows it's a sign of the times that how you look online is now so much more important than how you look on real life, because people place so much weight on your online presence. And that's something that's changed only recently. It was never like this before, that people care more about their online image than their in-person image. So that's what I think is a sign of the times.
All right. Wow, that's a very interesting take on what is a sign of the times. I have never heard of this person, Tube Girl, but that's quite interesting what she does, and it does sound very brave. And actually, I have a take on that about what's happening in Japan that I will share at the end of the podcast. But first, let's go ahead and take a quiz. So the first question is, question 1, what does she talk about? A YouTuber, or B, tube dancing? And the answer is B, tube dancing. Now, for a little bit of context, she's actually referring to the tube, the metro in London. At least that's what I think she's doing. And so this woman is dancing on the train, on the tube, which is the subway system that they have in London. So tube dancing must be that you film yourself dancing on the subway or the tube or whatever. And you see a lot of that on TikTok and YouTube, whatever. So yeah, that's quite interesting what she's talking about. The second question, what does she say about the woman? A, she is brave. B, she is beautiful. And she says A, she is very brave. Although I would say maybe annoying for some people, but we'll get to that in a minute. And question 3, what is more important for the dancer? A, her online image, or B, her in-person image? And the answer is her online image. So people are very concerned about how they're perceived online, and they care about that more than actually what people think of them in person. So obviously, if this person is doing this in front of other people, the people that are watching this in person might not have a positive feeling about her, right? They might be annoyed by her. But the people that are watching online would definitely like this, and it's entertaining. So she's more concerned about her online image. All right, so now let's go over some of the vocabulary. We've already talked about sign of the times. So when something is a sign of the times, that means it reflects the current trends or behaviors or culture of a particular era. Like for example, you could say, using AI to do your homework is a sign of the times. She also says, dunno. Dunno is just a very fast way to say, I don't know. We often use this in colloquial English. For example, somebody might say something like, do you know where Mary went? And you would say, don't know. Don't know just means I don't know. She also mentions that the girl went viral. So viral actually comes from the medical world, excuse me. So when a disease is viral, that means it spreads easily from one person to another. So in social media, if something goes viral, that means it spreads, it becomes very popular, it gets lots of views, etc. Although I have a feeling a lot of my listeners probably already know this term because they're young and everybody wants to go viral. And she also says stupid. So here, stupid means just to look silly, right? Or not serious. So stupid can mean not intelligent, but she's using it here to say that she just looks silly, like she doesn't look professional or she doesn't look serious, right? So that would be stupid. And then finally, we have online image and in-person image. So your online image is perceptions that people have of you online. So that would be how people think of you when they see you online. And then your in-person image would be how you actually are if somebody meets you face to face. And you hear this a lot about celebrities. For example, Keanu Reeves is kind of famous for having a really good in-person persona. So people say that when you meet him in person, he's exactly the same. He's a really nice guy. So his in-person image and his online image is exactly the same. And that is, those are some of the vocabulary words. We have one more. Sorry. Place weight on. This is a good one. So she says that this person places a lot of weight on her online image. So when you place weight on something, that means you put great importance to it, or you make it a priority. It's very important for you, and that is to put weight on something. So, for example, in education, unfortunately, we place a lot of weight on test scores. So you have to get good test scores to get good grades. So um, a lot of we place a lot of weight on test scores. Sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. So it's very important for students to do well on tests. And unfortunately, that's not really the best way sometimes to teach or educate people, by placing a lot of weight on tests, because tests are taken in a short period of time, and it's very easy for students to make mistakes or get nervous, or maybe the test doesn't really represent all of their skills. But still, we do place a lot of weight on test scores in the world. We also place a lot of weight on appearance, right? So, you have to be attractive and good looking often to succeed in life, which is unfortunate. In my case, it's unfortunate. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that we do in life that we place a lot of weight on. Now, if you are interested in the lesson, we actually have a vocabulary quiz that you can take to test your knowledge of these new words. And you could actually hear a short explanation of the words and hear some sample sentences as well. Okay, so now let's go ahead and listen one more time. This is the second listening. This is Olivia talking about what is something that is a sign of the times.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and right now I live in London. And my question is, what is something that is a sign of the times? For me, it's the video and the whole trend Tube Girl. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but basically it's this girl who's recording herself on the tube dancing and singing, and there's a bunch of wind blowing in her face. And the dance is like quite brave. It's not something I would want to do in public. And everybody in the background's watching her. And of course, it went viral because of how shocking it was. And then because of that, she got lots of work. And now there's all these videos you see of her in public having a phone at all these different angles. And it looks really, really, really cool on the video camera. But it looks really stupid when you watch it live in public. And you see her doing this around a bunch of stars at really important events, at fashion shows. And seeing how stupid she looked in real life, but how cool the videos looked on her phone made me think of, wow, it really shows. It's a sign of the times that how you look online is now so much more important than how you look on real life because people place so much weight on your online presence. And that's something that's changed only recently. It was never like this before, that people care more about their online image than their in-person image. So that's what I think is a sign of the times.
So, what do you think? Do you agree with Olivia? Do you think that these types of videos are a sign of the times? Do you know who Tube Girl is? I should actually look it up. I should have looked it up before I did this video, but I didn't. So I'm kind of interested now that I'll have to go on and see if I can find Tube Girl and see what she's doing. But now it's time for the teacher's take on the topic. And so I will answer this question. What is something that is a sign of the times? Well, similarly to what she said, I think doing social media videos in public is definitely a sign of the times. And I see it everywhere now. I like to go out in nature, and there's a really, really beautiful beach that used to be kind of hidden and unknown to other people. And I would go there and I would relax, and it's a great place. And in the future, maybe I'll make a podcast episode or video about it. And now when I go there, I often see people doing social media videos. So it kind of got out where this beach is, and you see people, young people, like have filming themselves doing little videos showing whatever and talking to their YouTubers or TikTokers, whatever. So that is definitely a sign of the times. When I'm in Bangkok, I often see it in the parks as well. You see people in the parks filming themselves. And it's not good or bad. It's just a sign of the times. That's what people do. It's similar to what I'm doing now, right? So I'm recording myself for social media purposes to share this video, share this audio for a podcast. So yeah, it's just how we live these days. But one thing that's definitely a sign of the times that's not cool is we now have annoyance videos in Asia. And so it's happened in Korea, it's happened in Japan, and it's happened so much that they now have signs up in Japan telling people, particularly foreigners, that they cannot film on trains or subway stations or whatever because people do these videos and they purposely do them to annoy people that are on the train. And it's just rude. It's not polite. And it's shocking that people do this. And for somebody that's from the older generation, it's really, really scandalous. It's really shocking when we see people do this. We really can't put our head around it, like why somebody would want to be so annoying on the train or be impolite or rude. But you do see it sometimes. And obviously, these are rare occurrences. And maybe the people that are doing it are, they're just not mature enough to realize how silly it is what they're doing, making these annoyance videos. And by annoyance, what I mean is people are purposely trying to annoy people or agitate people on the train or a bus or whatever. So yeah, so it's become so prevalent that there's actually signs up in Japan telling people not to do it. And that definitely is a sign of the times. But I would like to add that sometimes people of my generation like to lump together younger people, like all young people do this, and that's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm a teacher, I teach university age students, and 99.999% of my students are wonderful kids, and they would never do something like this. So the people that do this, I think, are a very, very small minority, and they are not emblematic of young people today. Anyway, that's my take on the topic. And that's it for this lesson. Thanks so much for listening. I would love to know your answer to this question. What is something that is a sign of the times? I think there's a lot that we could say is a sign of the times. So if you can, please share your thoughts in the comment box below. Also, if you would like more lessons like this, you can go to Ello, check the link below in the description box. And this lesson also, like I said, comes with audio support for the vocabulary. We have videos for all levels from A1 to C1. And we have more videos from Olivia, actually, if you go to the main video page. And that's it. Thanks so much for listening.